When the Roman generals would come back from victorious battles, the crowds would cheer them on in celebrations. All eyes were on the generals, but very few would notice the aide right behind the general who would continuously whisper in his ear, "Memento mori." What the aide was saying in Latin was, "Remember, thou art mortal." The Stoics used this expression to remember to create priority and meaning in their life, to not leave things for later. In this episode, I invite you to not leave fun and play for later. By the end of this episode, you will know why this fun and play reset, why this practice is an investment on our long-term success, and you will also know some clear and fun actions that you can take to intentionally increase this very helpful practice in your life. We all have goals and dreams, right? Let me ask you, why do you want the friends, the relationships, the money, the career, the house, the farm, the dog, the influence, the celebrations, the travels? Why? There's some essence that we want to experience. Have you ever thought, who would you be if you reached your goals, even your audacious long-term goals? Imagine you have arrived. Would you feel lighthearted, playful, easygoing? Sometimes, on the way to our goals, we get so intense on the step that we are currently working on, we forget. Guilty. We outsource our playfulness, our lightheartedness, our easygoingness to our goal, to our future. When? Then. There might not be a later. Plus, the road to lightheartedness and playfulness and easygoingness cannot take us there if we don't experience some of this fun, or whatever we want to call this. I'm struggling to find an exact word. The road there cannot lead us to that end result if we don't experience some along the way. I'll say it another way. Unhealthy daily practices will not lead us to a healthy end result. Or I'm always broke kind of mindset will not lead us to abundance. We can't reach to a fun life if the journey does not contain these. So let's relax a little bit more with who we are right now, with what we have, with what we know, with those we can while we can. Let me make it clear, this does not mean no drive, no goals, no actions forward, no. We can still go for these and we can still get out of the comfort zone on the way to these. However, we can celebrate along the way our milestones and also enjoy and celebrate and delight in the everyday miracles, as the song says. I want to share with you some research from Dr. Haberman's lab. Neurologically speaking, dopamine is involved in reward. So we go for a goal, we stretch, we reach it, we feel better. We're good so far. Dopamine, though, is also involved in the pursuit of the reward. Let me explain. If we choose to produce dopamine subjectively at intervals along the way to the goal, so this is little fun and celebrations, celebrating the efforts that move us in the direction of the goal, the milestones along the way, it is very likely that we will reinforce this kind of behavior, meaning we will be more willing to stretch again. When we choose to celebrate fun and play along the way, we can increase our willingness to do this all over again, to go for our next goal. Also, when we're efforting on our way to our goal, we are producing adrenaline. And this can be draining, it's tiring eventually. Dopamine has the ability to buffer adrenaline. So, the little fun and play on our way to our goals, the celebrations, the reward for the efforts that move us forward toward our goals, they translate into the physical ability to stay longer in the game. We don't get burnt out. I think this is the secret to the Energizer Bunny. It's not coffee, because that's cortisol. That is a limited energy resource that can lead to burnout from overuse. All right, so the fun and play can prevent burnout, help our energy level long term, increase our willingness, our courage, and it can also increase our creativity, our creative power. Steve Jobs once said, creativity is just connecting things. When you ask creative people how they did something, they feel a little guilty because they didn't really do it. They just saw something. A lot of people in our industry haven't had many diverse experiences, so they don't have enough dots to connect. And they end up with very linear solutions without a broad perspective on the problem. The broader one's understanding of the human experience, the better design he will have. Through the intentional fun and play in some subject, not only do we connect with an old part of ourselves, or maybe young part, it depends how we look at it. Not only do we do that, but also this delight, this exploration, this connection pays dividends also in other areas of our life. It's as if various ideas that don't seem really connected to each other, they give birth to something new that is very inclusive. That's exciting. New vistas and new opportunities open up for our mind and our heart. You can experience for yourself the power of delight. Make a list of everything that interests you. What are you curious about? What increases your energy? Things that you just delight in. Add to this list anything that you also think you would be interested in once you have reached your goals, even your audacious goals. Like, what are some of those things that you'd be genuinely interested in? Add them to this list. And it's perfectly okay to start with a very short list. This is the fun part. Schedule a weekly solo date, just you, where you do an activity that involves one of these things that really interests you. So it's just you and your interests. I am grateful to Julia Cameron for this amazing idea. She calls it an artist date. You can call it whatever you like. Julia says, on your date, choose beauty over duty. So don't choose based on logic, choose based on curiosity, fun, play, delight. It is perfectly okay if the subject or the activity has nothing to do with your goals, with your work, with your business. Let it be an experience of enchantment. Be present, enjoy it, and let it take you wherever it needs to take you. Share below what is something that is just pure delight for you, but you've been neglecting it for a while. Maybe for some of us since we were children. For me, it's been playing with puppies. I would love to hear your insights as you continue to explore this life domain, fun and play. For more details on this, and also a reset that includes the other life domains as well, I have created a fun life reset workbook. It's free. The link will be in the description. And as always, if you enjoy this channel, support it by subscribing to it and also sharing this episode perhaps with someone that could use a little bit more fun and play in their life. Thank you. In the meantime, let's all remember to sprinkle a little bit of fun and play in our today. Let's not outsource it to time, goals, when, then. No. Let us intentionally mind our business, our fun and play business that is. That's it, friends. I'll see you really soon. Mwah.